Welcome to This Explainer. I'm literally so thrilled you're here today, because we're unpacking one of the most fascinating mysteries in modern retail. Okay, let's dive into this. Just imagine walking into a massive warehouse store. You're looking at a giant pack of paper towels, a cart totally full of groceries, or maybe even a high-end flat-screen TV. And you notice something, right? It costs noticeably less here than at almost any other retailer in the world. I mean, it almost feels like a glitch in the Matrix, doesn't it?
And that brings us right to our central paradox. How does Costco sell products so cheaply and still manage to become one of the world's largest, most successful retailers? Just think about the friction between those two ideas for a second. Usually, rock-bottom prices mean razor-thin margins and struggling businesses. You generally can't have incredibly low prices and massive, record-breaking corporate success happening at the exact same time. Not without a catch, anyway. The answer here isn't just that they randomly decided to slash prices. Nope, it relies on a completely different business model.
So the crucial point is Section 1, the membership revenue engine. To really grasp this, we've got to draw a stark contrast. In a traditional store, anyone can just walk in off the street, browse the aisles, and buy what they want. The barrier to entry is zero. It's completely non-existent. But the Costco model, they disrupt this entirely. They require a membership purchase before you can even think about shopping. They literally gate their entire retail experience behind an upfront paywall. So why intentionally turn people away at the door if they won't pay a fee? Well, because those membership fees create a steady, highly predictable source of revenue that helps support the entire business. This upfront recurring revenue, it acts as their absolute financial bedrock. Think about it. Before a single cart is even pushed, before one barcode is scanned, they already have this massive pool of capital. It's exactly this guaranteed cash flow that lets them completely abandon traditional retail logic when they're pricing their items. Moving on to Section 2, efficiency through limited selection.
Now, you might be asking yourself, how else do they keep operating costs so phenomenally low? The secret is actually in what they don't offer. You see, traditional supermarkets, they offer thousands of different versions of the exact same product. If you want a bottle of ketchup, you might be staring down 20 different brands, sizes, and flavors. But Costco, they intentionally offer a much more limited selection. They aggressively restrict their inventory variety.
And this brilliantly illustrates the compounding operational benefits of that strategy, what we call the efficiency loop. Because they only carry a few versions of an item, they have to buy massive quantities of those fewer products. Doing this wildly improves their purchasing efficiency, which then directly reduces their operating costs. It's just a beautiful self-sustaining cycle. Fewer variations mean less complex supply chains, way less time spent stocking shelves, and a vastly simplified warehouse floor.
But the benefits of that efficiency loop definitely don't stop at the warehouse doors. This massive buying volume allows for some extremely aggressive negotiation with suppliers. I mean, put yourself in the shoes of a supplier for a second. Because Costco buys in such unimaginable quantities, those suppliers desperately value the chance to reach Costco's huge customer base. The sheer volume makes it completely worth it for the supplier to slash their own prices, and Costco just takes those deep discounts and passes them straight on to us, the consumer.
Which brings us to Section 3, the power of bulk.
I absolutely love this breakdown because it makes the logistics so crystal clear. Let's walk through the economics of bulk packaging step by step. Step 1. Sell in large package sizes. So instead of individual cans of soup, you sell a flat of 12. Why? Because of Step 2. It fundamentally reduces the packaging, transportation, and handling costs per unit. You aren't shipping, unpacking, and scanning 20 tiny cardboard boxes. You're moving one giant pallet. It's basically a relentless subtraction of logistical costs. And finally, Step 3. It naturally encourages customers to buy more in a single trip, pumping up the overall basket size for the store. Which leads us to a concept that truly sets them apart from the pack: modest markups. Traditional retailers rely heavily on large profit margins per individual item to survive. They buy something for $1 and try to sell it to you for $3. But Costco doesn't play that game. They've historically focused on keeping the markup on their items incredibly modest. They aren't out there trying to squeeze every last penny of profit out of a single jar of peanut butter.
Let's look at Section 4, building unshakable customer loyalty.
What's really fascinating here is the human psychology behind the model. Once people pay for a membership, they have a powerful built-in incentive to shop there regularly simply to get value out of it. I mean, think about it. You paid an upfront fee just to get in the door. That means you're going to make sure your membership pays for itself instead of giving your money to a competitor. So the low prices and the membership fee, they work perfectly together to fuel this continuous, unbroken loop of customer loyalty.
Of course, we have to look at the whole picture here. No business model is absolutely perfect. First off, buying in bulk just isn't ideal for every household. If you live in a tiny apartment, storing a 40-pack of paper towels is, well, it's going to be a serious spatial challenge. Second, a membership only makes financial sense if you actually use it enough. This system relies heavily on heavy usage, frequent trips, and generally larger household sizes to actually deliver on that promised value.
Yet, despite those caveats, they have undeniably built a retail empire around value, efficiency, and customer loyalty. Which brings us to this fantastic quote that brilliantly summarizes our entire explainer today. Sometimes the most successful companies don't maximize profit on every product. Instead, they build systems that encourage customers to keep coming back. That is the absolute philosophical core of their strategy. It's not about winning on a single item, it's about building a whole ecosystem of trust and recurring value.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. How can other businesses shift from maximizing per-product profit to building systems for returning customers? Could this membership-driven, high-efficiency, modest markup model actually be applied to other industries? It's a real puzzle to think about for the broader business world. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep looking for those hidden systems all around you.